Well, certainly we've unfortunately had to report several tough crime stories recently, specifically that shooting at the high school football game there at McLean High School.
Now it makes us ask what's being done to prevent such violence. And this morning we're talking once again with Tulsa Mayor G.T. Bynum as he comes on each month. Thanks for being here. And Mayor, I know this hurts your heart as a parent, but what kind of discussions are happening to make this, at least try to address this?
Well, I think there are really two main fronts we're focused on. There's safety in our schools themselves. We want kids in Tulsa to be focused on academic excellence and growing as people and not have to worry about violence like we've seen, and certainly with the McLean shooting. And not 3 days before this shooting occurred, I'd actually been talking with Dr. Gist about the need for us to circle back up and have a check-in discussion. The reality is there's a very strong working relationship between the Tulsa Police Department and the security forces at our three major school systems here in Tulsa. But we know that there are always things that we can be doing to improve. And I know that not just with Dr. Guest, but with our other superintendents in the Tulsa area, there's a desire to continue those discussions. One, so we can be aware of everything that they are doing within their school systems to continue to improve security, but also so we can know where the city of Tulsa and the Tulsa Police Department can be most helpful. So I believe we're going to be having that discussion here in the next couple of weeks, but this is part of an ongoing dialogue that we've been having throughout the time that I've been mayor to make sure that we can make our schools safe. The larger issue, and I think what really concerns me, is the increasing number of minors that we see committing crimes with firearms. I was on a ride along with our crime gun unit not 6 months ago, and officers chased down a kid who he might have been 15 years old, and he had a pistol with a laser sight on it. We're seeing an increased number of crimes committed by youth in our community, and that is a great concern for me, as I know it is for the leadership in the police department.
Right.
And we're going to continue to focus on how we can address those. I think the greatest message I would put out there, though, for the citizens of Tulsa and for young people is that you don't get away with murder in Tulsa. Our homicide unit has a nearly 100% solve rate every single year. Most major cities in America, I hear, are happy to get in the 60% solve rate. Anytime that there's a homicide in Tulsa, the vast likelihood is that the person who perpetrates it is going to be brought to justice and taken off of the streets. Now, that's hopefully some consolation for the victims, but as you mentioned, as a parent, I hate seeing young Tulsans throwing their whole life away by committing acts of violence in their, the very beginning of their lives. And we as a community, I think, are a city that wants to see kids here in Tulsa have an opportunity to have long, great, happy, productive lives. And the more that we can be doing as a community to ensure that, to strengthen families, the better.
And it takes all of us. I mean, whether you have kids, you don't have kids, whether they're out of the home or not, it's everyone's responsibility. Dave has one more question before we wrap up, Mayor.
Well, I was just blown away, Mayor, by Whiteside Park, this all-inclusive park open, just looking at the renderings, the video. How special is this to have something like Whiteside in Tulsa that is accessible to everyone?
Well, you talk about Tulsa being a city where we want every young person to be able to have a wonderful, fulfilling life. This is a great example of that. We will be building the first playground of its kind at Whiteside Park, which is on 41st Street between Harvard and Yale, right by the Little Lighthouse. And this is a playground that will have accessible equipment so that children with special needs can enjoy this playground just as much as kids who don't have special needs are going to be enjoying it. It is not solely focused on one group or another. It's that we want all kids in this region to be able to share a great experience side by side at this park. This is one of my favorite things that we're doing in the whole city right now, and I cannot wait for spring to come around, construction to be completed, and to see kids who have not necessarily had access to a lot of playground equipment in this state, let alone in Tulsa, are going to have a one-of-its-kind experience in our Tulsa park system. I cannot thank enough our Parks Director, Anna America, and the Bernstein Family Foundation, who is helping us cover the cost on this project.
We appreciate your time as always, Mr. Mayor. We'll see you again in November.
Thank you.